How's it going, everybody? My name is Joe, and I'm going to be reacting to the series finale of Better Call Saul, episode 13. And before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Are we out in the Albuquerque desert? Oh, yep. Yeah, it is. Saul's old car and the aluminum foil blanket thing. And the money. Back to this, okay.
We're sitting on $7 million here, literally. I say we take it, split it 50-50, take off.
It's not ours. Yeah, well, I know some people who would have a problem with that.
Right?
Take $6 million and build a time machine. Where would you go first, huh?
Yeah, where would you go, Mike?
March 17th, 1984.
What happened on that date?
Day I took my first bribe.
Damn.
You.
May 10, 1965. That's the day Warren Buffett took over at Berkshire Hathaway. I figure.
That's it, buddy.
What else?
Damn.
Nothing you change.
Nice, back to Gene.
He's headed south towards Curtis.
Oh, man.
Oh, please get him.
Saturn Aura, Nebraska, 6-4, Paul, Frank Tom.
Already? Helicopter? Damn. Going all out. They want you. Yeah, he's gonna get caught. Oh, that's disgusting. Need to call the vacuum guy, get you out of there. Oh no.
Anybody home?
Ugh, what a way to get caught,
This is how they get you.
right? Your
This
legacy.
Is how they get you.
Is this how you got caught? Crazy, man.
I need another phone call!
Bring this guy back in the fold. That's cool.
Bill Oakley speaking.
Trust experience, trust Oakley. I like that. It's catchy. You know who this is, right? This is your lucky day. I am talking to Saul Goodman's new advisory council.
What?
Keep up, Bill. You hit the jackpot.
No matter who your lawyer is, you are screwed.
Very
So I gotta
much.
ask.
All right, he took it on. Oh, Marie. Wow.
Rico,
By our count, that's life plus
190.
life plus 190 years.
Listen, you've got Agent Schrader's widow back there. Why don't you invite her in?
Well, no, she can't be present at a plea negotiation. It's completely inappropriate.
She's already here. Both parties agree. It's fine, really.
Cool to have her. Cool to bring her back.
They tell me they found you in a garbage dumpster. Well, that makes sense.
Jeez.
Hank and Steve, they were shot dead and left in a hole in the desert. You helped the two-faced, poisonous bastard behind it all. For what? Money?
You and he are victims, and so am I.
All right, how's he gonna turn this on them?
2 years ago, a man came into my office. Two men threw a sack over my head. They hogtied me, and they drove me out into the desert. I was kneeling in front of an open grave with a gun pointed at my head. That was my introduction to Walter White.
It really was.
I did it because I knew what he would do to me if I refused. Walter White might be dead, but Jesse Pinkman and the others, they're still out there. Somewhere.
Do you think jurors are going to buy that?
All I need is one. I'm hoping there's some wiggle room.
You're not going to negotiate with this man. You're not.
In an anticipated advisory sentencing guidelines range of 85 to 90 months imprisonment to any supervised
it?
7.5 years. I visited a client once at ADX Montrose, the Alcatraz of the Rockies. No, that's a deal breaker, my friend.
FCI Butner, low, wing,
Wing D.
and now we are done.
As Steve Jobs used to say, one more thing. Bluebell mint chocolate chip ice cream every
you're
Friday
pressing your luck.
for the duration.
Okay, that's it. No more games.
Now I got a sweetener. It's nothing I've talked about. New arena, primo stuff. Concerns a prominent Albuquerque attorney.
Howard Hamlin?
Sounds like you and your ex aren't talking on a regular basis.
Kim Wexler, she spilled her guts about Howard Hamlin. On the record.
You got nothing left to sell.
Crazy that they brought it from 190 years to 7.5. Crazy. Walter? Oh, is this when they're waiting for the vacuum guy?
What would you do if you had a time machine?
He asked him as well.
Time machine?
The kind of time travel that you're thinking of is a scientific impossibility. Quantum mechanics, we're discussing that now? Stay in your lane.
There's got to be something you'd go back and change if you could.
You are not talking about a time machine. You are talking about regrets. So if you want to ask about regrets, just ask about regrets.
You have any?
When I was a graduate student, I started a company with some... At the time, I thought they were my friends. I stepped away. I thought I was doing the gentlemanly thing, but little did I understand that they were artfully maneuvering me into leaving my own creation. And had I stayed, oh...
You'd be a very rich man.
How could you never tell me about this? We could have done something with this.
You'd have been the last lawyer I'd have gone to. So what about you? A slip and fall?
Yeah, that's
your biggest
how I put
regret,
myself through bartending school.
So you were always like this?
Damn.
With that in mind, you're sure we can't have a few words?
You gotta entice him.
She opened herself up to a civil suit. The widow can take her for everything she has and everything she's gonna have in perpetuity. Mrs. Hamlin's out lawyer shopping as we speak. What more are you gonna get?
You don't understand. It's really good ice cream.
Oh, God.
There's no charge. All our services are free.
Actually, I'm here to see if I can volunteer.
Sure. Then there you go.
Hi, Suzanne.
I want to make it clear this call is completely unofficial.
Uh,
All right. Your ex, Saul Goodman, he was arrested in Nebraska. He's been extradited to New Mexico. He's giving testimony that affects you personally.
Saul has to always look flashy. Man, it's been years since they seen face to face with each other.
So it's United States versus Saul Goodman. Counsel, please state
Rings a
your
bell.
appearance. The parties have reached a plea agreement satisfactory to both sides. The government's sentencing recommendation is 7 years.
Your Honor, with respect, Mr. Oakley is advisory counsel. I'm representing myself here today.
You are the beneficiary of the most generous sentencing recommendation I've seen in 22 years on the bench. Any statement you make imperils that recommendation.
I'm very aware of that, Your Honor. That night, I saw opportunity. And for the next 16 months, my every waking moment was spent building Walter White's drug empire.
Hold on, Mr. Goodman, stop right there.
Your Honor, we are satisfied for Mr. Goodman to continue. Your Honor.
He wants to go out with a bang.
I lied to the government about Kim Wexler. Fed him a load of BS about her involvement in Howard Hamlin's murder. I just wanted her to come here today. I wanted her to hear this. I was indispensable. I kept Walter White out of jail. I laundered his money, I lied for him, I conspired with him, and I made millions. If he hadn't walked into my office that day, Walter White would have been dead or behind bars within a month. Fact is, Walter White couldn't have done it without me. And my brother Chuck, Charles McGill, the most brilliant guy I ever met, but he was limited.
The electricity.
Instead, when I saw a chance to hurt him, I took it. I got his malpractice insurance canceled. I took away the one thing he lived for, the law. After that, he killed himself.
Mr. Goodman.
The name's McGill. I'm James McGill.
Hey, Chuck.
I was starting to worry.
Because you're my brother. Duh. You do the same for me.
Ready?
Or maybe you just want to tell me what I'm doing wrong.
That's not what I had in mind. If you don't like where you're heading, there's no shame in going back and changing your path.
Yeah, that was cool to get Chuck. Getting all the cameos, bringing everybody back. Love it. He's become a prison celebrity.
So, lawyer's here. Ma'am.
Yeah.
No cuffs, please.
That's good. Get one final conversation between the two.
Turns out my New Mexico bar card doesn't have an expiration date.
That's awesome. Just like old times. Pass a cigarette. Yep.
86 years.
That's his new sentencing.
Here we go.
Damn, that's the end. Now we need a Kim Wexler show. Alrighty, so that was the series finale of Better Call Saul, Season 6, Episode 13. So the episode starts. In separate flashbacks, Saul asks Mike and Walter about their regrets. Another flashback shows Chuck asking Jimmy whether he ever considered a different path in life. In 2010, Gene is caught and arrested, enlisting former rival Bill Oakley as his co-counsel and negotiating a deal for only 7 years in prison, claiming to be a victim of Walt's schemes. He also offers to confess to Howard's death, only to learn that Kim has already done so. Saul is extradited to Albuquerque for his trial and lies about new testimony involving Kim to get her to appear in court. He then admits his full involvement in Walt's empire and Chuck's suicide, and reverts to using the name James McGill. He is given an 86-year sentence. Jimmy is recognized as Saul in prison and enjoys notoriety among his fellow inmates. Kim visits him and the two share a cigarette. Lastly, as she leaves, Jimmy makes their signature finger gun gesture at her. So that was a quick summary regarding the series finale. I'm just mind boggled. I can't believe the show ended. And because of that ending, now I really want a Kim Wexler show. But I do know Vince Gilligan is working on another show for Apple TV, I believe, where he's bringing on Reese Seahorn to be the lead, which is pretty cool. I'll definitely follow wherever Vince Gilligan goes and watch whatever he creates, because Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul were gold. As for this episode, it was so great getting all the cameos, getting a lot of the characters back to show up. None of them felt forced. Everything felt intertwined and worked with the story. Bouncing from Mike and Walter talking about what they would do if they had a time machine was priceless, especially Walter just denouncing whatever Saul was saying and just say it as it is. You're asking what regrets I have. It was also very fitting that Jimmy was arrested while being stuck in a dumpster. His hubris and ego finally bit him in the butt, and at the time, this is how his story was going to end. He was able to use his wizard powers, his lawyer mastery, to knock down from 190 years to about 7.5, which is just astounding. It was cool bringing Bill Oakley into the fold as well as co-counsel. He was kind of a punching bag throughout the series, but he definitely held his own and was a big presence this episode. Along those lines, during the whole negotiation process, it was also cool to bring in Marie as well. Having Marie there, sharing her thoughts, her experiences, was icing on the cake, along with bringing back Chuck. And lastly, I really liked the Kim and Saul scene at the end. Very reminiscent of past seasons of Better Call Saul, with the passing of the cigarette and the final gesture with his finger guns. Overall, this is definitely probably in the top 3 of my favorite and the best TV shows of all time. Everyone needs to go and watch the show and appreciate greatness. Other than that, if you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the reaction, please like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.